Hello everyone, Kolonji Murray with TaxAssurances. Just wanted to do a helpful video around preparing taxes and kind of getting your documents together that someone like me, in terms of a tax preparer, would need to accurately prepare a tax return. So first and foremost, we would need documents that show what type of income you had. So usually for most people that comes in the form of W-2 forms. And it's really cool in that for most, in fact, for all employers, by the end of January, your employer has to provide you with what's called a W-2, which summarizes, one, the amount of income that is taxable that you received during the year, and then two, what taxes were taken out both at the federal and at the state level, assuming you're in a state that does have taxes that need to be paid. So that's the first and foremost. Usually that's kind of the biggest one. Second behind that is someone receiving a 1099 or a K-1. That simply reflects, in the case of a 1099, the total income that was received as an independent contractor, or something along those lines, like an Uber driver or something where, like I said, you are 1099 miscellaneous kind of contractor, where they have to report both to you as well as to the IRS and to the state that you live in the summary of all the income you receive for the year. So that 1099 is going to be a good piece of information that I would need. In that case, I would also need any expenses that you had related to getting that income related to that 1099. So if it's, if you're using your car, if you're using your home, if you've got rental space, if you're paying for supplies, if you're paying for employees, those type of expenses I would need a summary of as related to that 1099. Next up is usually like rental income from like a home or something like that, either a two-family home, or you may have like a separate home, whether it's a condo or a townhouse or a single-family home. And once again, along with that income, just kind of a summary of all of the expenses that are related to it. So again, we're looking at the mortgage, interest, we're looking at the property taxes, we're looking at the homeowner's insurance. Obviously, if there's repairs, if you've hired a management company, those type of expenses I would want to kind of summarize on that return as part of the overall comprehensive return. Next up, and another big item, has to do with investment accounts. So say, for instance, you've got a brokerage account where you've got marketable securities. So whether it's dividend income, whether it's interest income in that brokerage account, if you've got buying and selling of individual stocks or mutual funds, I want a copy of that that statement, and that's going to come from the brokerage company that you have the relationship with. They're really great at summarizing everything for the year. So it's one of those things where, as long as you get that statement provided to me, I can use that information to prepare the overall tax return. So that's a very helpful piece of information. Then you've got, if you've got children, if you've got other dependents, if you're paying for a college tuition, if it's a situation where you're paying interest on a student loan, if you're paying for after-school care, those type of expenses. Then if you've got like an HSA or something like that, and any other variables, like for instance for teachers. Teachers have a situation where they're paying out of pocket that doesn't get reimbursed for expenses that they're paying for their job. So that type of information, I'm pretty good with actually a checklist and providing that to my clients to let them know kind of what items to check off. They can kind of go through it, making sure that I get those items. But it's really helpful that having that information all in one nice, neat package, forwarded at one time, makes that process, that tax preparation process, pretty easy, pretty streamlined. It makes that process, a lot smoother in terms of the back and forth. So it's just me getting that information, being able to prepare the return, review it with you, making sure we're dotting the I's, crossing the T's, all the information is kind of done accurately, and then sending it off to, again, the IRS and the state. So that gives kind of an overview of the information that I would need. Obviously, there are going to be other variables that come in, and part of the conversation that I would have with you is kind of maybe uncovering some of those other pieces of information based on conversation that I'd have with you. Hopefully that's helpful. Obviously, if there are other questions that you have about this, by all means reach out. We'd love to help, and obviously love to help with your tax preparation needs. Talk to you soon.